Okay. We ready? Just a minute. Okay. Do you want to sit here? Okay, so that's when you move the chair. Okay, so only one. Assalamualaikum, can everyone hear us? If you can just type in the chat box, because we're just going to get started. You can just say yes in the chat if you can hear us. Yes, I am.
There's a lot of people. What is that?
Yes.
Do people were rubbernecking on?
Oh, by the way, this is y'all's box.
Yeah.
Wait, okay. Oh, this one's y'all's box. Okay. With all your supplies in it. Inshallah. Because of that MSA perception.
Okay, perfect. Okay, Bismillah, we're gonna get started really quickly. Assalamualaikum everyone. Jazakum. Okay, I'm like looking at the screens. Jazakumullah khair for coming. Allahumma salli ala sayyidina Muhammad wa alihi wa sahbihi wa sallam. Rabbi shrah li sadri wa yassir li amri wahlul 'uqdatan min lisani yafqahu qawli. We're going to get started with just a brief intro, and then we'll go to the vision and the workshop, the agenda, and your notes if you want to take any are over there. Just a quick intro for each of us. So I'm Ayat Abdurrahman. I'm just the Vice Director for Charity Week USA this year. And this is Danielle.
Assalamu alaikum.
Danielle is the University of Houston representative for this year. And I don't really talk about you, but here we go. So in 2014, we had our first ever Charity Week in Qatar. And it was fall semester that this happened, and Danielle came in spring. Yeah, she came in spring semester as a study abroad student, so she had just missed Charity Week. But then after that, I was in Qatar, and then I moved to Houston and got married, and then she followed along in our house. Our apartments ended up to be like 30 seconds down the road. And then with conversation and stuff, I ended up telling her about Charity Week, and she was on board like right away, alhamdulillah, and she's been amazing. Absolutely amazing. And so you guys are so lucky to have her as your representative.
Oh, my God.
Yes, you are. Very lucky. And yeah, and so now we're based in Houston, and U of H is participating this year. And I just wanted to get to show you guys some slides of, you know, as an institution, you guys don't realize how global this is, because on the national level and on the state rep level, we know how big it is, and we have the meetings with all the different countries and things like that, but you guys might not. So I just took some, we took some snippets of, you know, just for you to see how big this is, and for you to see how much of a family this is. And we'll just start off with this. So if you can take a look at the screen. This is Charity Week on the left. This is London Assemble. They shouted us out. It's like, what's going on, America? This is Charity Week's board from City College. This is a Germany team setting up boxes. And this is the best. So Ahmed, our international director, he's the one in the kufi. This one. So he went to Hajj this year, and this was a WhatsApp message. Blessed days when you sit down for breakfast with a view of the Haram and think you can see mirages, and like Ahmed, and then you realize it's more than a mirage. And this guy is a charity worker as well. And so basically, like wherever you go in the world, you're always going to find a charity worker, even if Charity Week isn't in that country, like vacation, or they're just traveling to see family. And it just shows you like how much of a tight-knit family we are. Over down here, Scotland's Charity Week was featured in Scotland's biggest newspaper. And there's just some really amazing stories. And this is a volunteer from Islamic Relief. There's podcasts. We were tweeted by Qatar Flights. Australia had their first donation days before Charity Week. He was in a jewelry store, and then he told them about Charity Week, and he walked out with a donation for Charity Week. And same with Qatar. Qatar actually had, I met a person with a UK accent, and she was just like, oh, UK, Charity Week, do you know about it? He's like, oh, I was in Charity Week. And so then, inshallah, we'll get to introduce it to him, and he can participate in Qatar's. And this is just from Australia. So there's an international bake-off this year, and the caption is, my story today isn't as cool as science, but 3 weeks before Charity Week, a school in North London has already entered the global competition, and this is one of the cakes. And then sometimes we just get a little, this is Australia's Charity Week, bought astronaut costumes already. And this is very cute. This is so cute. So my first ever wedding gift was actually given to me by Wajid from the UK. He had sent this like set with somebody from the UK who was visiting Qatar. And this is the General Secretary's wedding gift for this year. Just shows you how much of a connection there's. I haven't even seen these people. Actually, this is the first time that people see me online too, and even Danielle. And this is, our theme is space this year. And this was the wedding over, the sky over your wedding, and it was like a frame thing. So it just shows you how much we are really a family. That's it for me. Danielle will take over and start the first talk of the vision.
Inshallah. Okay, assalamu alaikum. Okay, so first, before we start, I'm having trouble, like, I'm trying to focus on you guys, but then I'm like,
She was talking on this.
trying to focus on the people online too. Okay, I'm sorry people online, but I'm going to focus on them. Okay, so the first thing that we wanted to go over, since today is about you guys getting to understand like what exactly you guys are going to be doing in Charity Week, and to prepare yourselves so that you guys can have our first Charity Week be a success, inshallah. And so the first thing we want to do is make sure that we go over the vision again, because it's the most important part of Charity Week. And we need to understand why we're doing this. Why did you guys come on a Saturday for 3 hours to sit with us in a room? And I think it's good for us to start with something from the Quran. So in the Quran, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala says, "Are the blind equal to those who see?" And Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is asking us to think about this. Like, are the blind equal to those who see? Obviously, Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala is not talking about someone who is physically blind. But He's trying to show us that are the people that have a vision equal to the people who don't? Are the person who has a vision is going to have like an end goal in mind. They're going to have a destination in mind, and everything that they do when they wake up throughout their day is going to be for that end goal. And even if they start going away from that path, they will always come back because they have that end goal in mind. By the way, I'm making so much eye contact with you. I hope it doesn't make you uncomfortable. So someone who doesn't have a vision, you're kind of wandering aimlessly, like you're literally blind. And so I think it's important that we as like personally, we have a vision, but we as an organization, and also us as an ummah, that we have a vision so we can all come together. So in honor of our space theme, which I don't know if you guys have caught on to it yet.
Houston, we have a problem.
It was really perfect, by the way. I think we should take
That's
this
what I was thinking.
trip to NASA.
Because like whenever it said Houston, we have a problem in the promo video, I was like, wow, they're really
Yeah.
trying to
I think they really, so the whole world, by the way, right now is looking at the US because it's just now starting in the US, and for years they had been dreaming of bringing Charity Week to the US. And finally, like last year was the first year that we were here. We had 10 institutions and then 20. And next year, the international director put us at 50 institutions. So like we're growing on an exponential rate, alhamdulillah. So we had to actually limit it this year, how many institutions could join. Assalamu alaikum. So we just started, so you didn't miss too much. Okay, so in honor of our space theme and talking about our vision, I want to kind of take you guys back to late 1950s, early 1960s in America, and how exactly NASA was created. This is really, by the way, personal, right? Because all of this happened right here in Houston. So, alhamdulillah. Okay, so let's kind of compare our vision to theirs. So America in the 1960s, does anyone know like what was going on? Like early 1960s, late 1950s? Yeah, so we had like in like the 1940s, we had just got out of World War II, right?
Yes.
And so like there was like a lot of deaths, a lot of deaths, a lot of wounds, like emotionally and physically. We were still kind of recovering from that. It was also the Cold War, right? Because we were like at an arms race now, because everyone was kind of like looking around the world, like waiting for the next big thing to happen. And so we were like building weapons and intelligence and like kind of like in like really tense, right? And like inside too. So inside our country, we had civil rights movements, women's rights movements. This is not a history lesson, by the way, guys. And so like we started addressing things like racism and sexism, right? Because during this time, like you had people of color having to go fight, you had women having to go into industry to work. So like we started challenging these things inside, and some people supported and some people didn't, and it caused a lot of our inside to be disunited. So we had our external threats, and then we had our internal struggles, right? And so at this point, this is when John F. Kennedy became president in 1961. And he quickly realized that in America, we were falling apart from the inside out. And so he knew like he needed to create some vision for everyone to come together again as one nation. So he did something really, really crazy. He took everyone's eyes off of what was going on and with communism on the rise and all of our external enemies and our internal struggles. He took their eyes off of the ground and he put everyone's eyes in the sky. And he said, our vision is to go to space. He said, our vision is going to be to reach for the stars and put a man on the moon. And subhanAllah, this vision instantly took over the nation. And he gave a speech, by the way, right here in Houston, like on Rice University, near the football field, which we want to recreate, but you know, inshallah. He gave a speech here that completely like electrified the nation. And it built that like desire, like everyone was coming together. No matter where you were from, no matter what your background, no matter what your struggles, everyone came together. And I think the most beautiful way that this was demonstrated was when JFK went to NASA and he was there and he saw a guy sweeping the floor, right? And he walked up to him and he was like, what do you do? And he's like, I mean, we're thinking like, oh, he's sweeping the floor, he's cleaning, like he's obviously a janitor, right? But then the guy turned to him and he was like, you know what, Mr. President? I'm helping put a man on the moon. So like the vision like that he created for America, it didn't just go to the engineers and the astronauts, like it went to everyone. Like even the janitor was like, this is what I'm here for. So that is the true power of a vision. He completely inspired a nation. And we got there, right? In 1969, we went to the moon. Does anyone know that song? 1969? Okay, no. Okay. Okay, so anyways, we actually got there. And like even right now, like I go outside, I did this last night. I went outside and I was like, man, that's so weird. Like someone was up there. Like someone's feet were on there, you know? I know there's like a lot of conspiracy theories saying that we didn't really go, but And another way that you can see this is Neil Armstrong. Like, does anyone know what Neil Armstrong like was before he was an astronaut? So he was just a farmer. He was like raised on a farm. And like to see someone like go from, oh, we haven't even been doing the presentation slides. I got too excited, guys. I'm so sorry. For those of you guys who are following online. Okay. Okay. So Neil Armstrong, this is actually a quote from him. So he says, I believe every human has a finite number of heartbeats, and I don't intend to waste any of mine. So this is actually something that we should follow as Muslims. We don't want to waste any of our heartbeats. But this guy was a farmer, and he went to the moon, and he was the first person on the moon. Like, subhanAllah, like that is the power of a vision. Subhanallah. So, the thing that we want to kind of bring this back to home, you're probably thinking like, yeah, they went to the moon, that's awesome, but like, what are we gonna do? Like, we're down here, you know? But we used to have a vision too. Actually, subhanAllah, this was a story that I really enjoyed. But when Russia went to space for the first time, they actually, when they got there, the astronauts called back to Moscow, and they were like, this must be a hoax. And they were like, what? What are you talking about? They're like, how did those guys, the Arabs, map all of these stars without leaving the ground? They were like, they were accurate within centimeters. That was us. That was Muslims. We used to map the stars. Like someone could be sitting in Iraq and they could tell you exactly what it looked like on the other side of the world. They could draw countries on the other side of the world without ever stepping foot over there. Because we had a vision. We wanted to grow as an ummah. and we were united. And so, actually, more than 2/3 of the stars are actually named after Muslims. Did you guys know that? Yeah, subhanAllah. So,
those in textbooks, so.
we invented a lot of non-beneficial things, algebra. So, what about today? I think we are much like America was in the 1960s. We have a lot of things happening from the outside, especially here in the US, right? Like, we have Islamophobia, xenophobia. We have people who don't want us here. We are faced with these kind of things every day. And then we have our internal struggles too, right? I mean, you would think with all the external struggles, we would be like, let's stick together. But no, we have Shia and Sunni fighting. We have people, we have masjid that are based off of ethnicity. We have all of these issues happening from the inside. We have people who are claiming to be us that are not part of us, that are making things even harder for us. So we are much like America was in the 1960s. So what Charity Week is realizing is that we need a vision. So just like America in the 1960s and JFK said we need a vision, it's the same here. We need a vision. And this is what Charity Week is all about. When we unite together, we can achieve amazing things. But disunited, we can't. When the moral majority comes together, then the immoral minority cannot do anything. But when the moral majority is disunited, that's when the immoral majority has power. And so this is the vision of Charity Week. And if we could go back and unite on our morals and our values and our faith, which is what we have that's so unique about us, then we could go back to mapping the stars. We could go back, we can find the cure for cancer. We can solve these problems that are happening in Syria and Yemen and all around the world if we all came together for one cause. So for Charity Week, charity is just the side benefit. And I know we keep saying that, but we really want to emphasize that. The only reason that we are able to create these permanent solutions to issues is because everyone came together for one cause. It's not because that was our focus. Our focus is coming together, and the side effect is that we're able to help hundreds of thousands of people get educated, have safe access to healthcare. All of these issues that we're solving is because we all came together. So I know this is really corny, but for us, unity is our moon, and Charity Week, we are NASA. That's what we really want to focus on. So just like people back in the 1960s, they did not believe that we could go there. I'm sure like if I walked out of my house like 55 years ago and looked up in the sky and saw the moon, I'd be like, yeah, okay, good luck. But just like we are sitting here now and we're seeing everything happening across the world and we're like, there's no way, there's so many of us, like how are we all going to come together again? It starts with just a vision, and inshallah then we will get there. Okay, do you want to move on? Okay, so by the way, after we do the talks, we're going to have workshops, and we have Islamic Relief tuning in to help you guys with some of your events, so it's not going to be lecture the whole time, don't worry. And if you guys have any questions, online too, if you guys have any questions, reminds me of when I was traveling to Sydney and found the university opposite of me doing Charity Week.
Yeah. Okay. So I forgot to mention this in the beginning, but you're probably wondering why is there a bucket of pipe cleaners. So if you guys get bored or need to, sometimes like, you know, when you're listening for something for too long, you just need to play something. So that's just, if you, yeah, you can just fidget with pipe cleaners. And there's also Post-it notes. So if you guys can take a minute and write any questions that you have today, as well as any expectations from the assemble, just one Post-it per question or per expectation. And we'll do, we can take 5 minutes. We'll do like a 5-10 minute break as well. I know, I keep going like this.
I know, I didn't even click through all the slides. That's great. Okay. You want to pull up the next one? Okay, guys, we'll be back in just 5 minutes. And if you guys need water or coffee, we have water and coffee up here with sugar and creamer. So please feel free to put up your coffee.
I want to put this on the table.
Because all they see is us, and they don't see like the team.
So I was gonna
You can just put it here. But then
I
we
don't
can't
know.
change it.
I don't know if it's.
We can't go for the slides.
How was your test?
Mom was good.
That's why I was gonna just put it.
What exam was it?
It was a math test,
Do you guys
for
see
one
the
of my
coins?
items.
I know. She's already eaten them. And they have AFP on it.
Do they really?
Yeah.
I didn't know we could use like
Yeah,
a
I thought you were
calculator.
done with this.
Oh my gosh, I
Yeah.
got
Yeah?
The coins
So I
have
was like dividing
JFK
my
on
really big
them.
numbers, and I think I got one of them
She's like,
wrong.
it's a sign.
What?
Like,
Yeah,
done it.
subhanAllah.
Oh my god, you need to show that on the camera.
Oh my god. Okay. This is JFK, guys.
It's not. That's not the
That's not that
camera.
one. It's the laptop one.
Oh, both?
No, it's just.
But that's for the recording, right?
Yeah.
No, now they're seeing me do all this crazy stuff. Hey guys, so we have chocolate coins
You're
that are
muted.
orange and.
You're muted.
Oh my god. This is really bad, guys. So we have chocolate coins that are orange and blue,
Oh, did you know?
and we actually just realized that they have JFK on them. Legit. Okay, now I'm ready. It took us so long. I know, me too. You know what? It's so funny, but every person that's seen us, like, we start setting up or something, or like for example, like my roommate brought her family over to the house and they saw all the flyers on like, the table and stuff. Every time someone sees it, they're like, "Where do we donate?" Like right away, you know? They're like,
to Houston.
I know, I told them, I was like, okay, when UMH gets their launch goods started on the 23rd, you guys can donate there.
But
But
you're gonna talk about that, right? Too for the finance.
yeah,
And I'll take care
this
of that.
workshop just now that we're about to do is gonna cover all of that.
Okay.
And then you can take all of that to Ahmed. Is that Ahmed? Is
Yeah.
finance. Okay. But yeah, the launch goods start on the 23rd. Like they'll open them up for you guys. Oh, and then like another lady was like, "Can I cook for anything?" And so I told her, I was like, "Well, they're doing the movie night, so like you might."
And
be
our
able
bake
to-
sale.
Yeah, and with the bake sale, like you can definitely like. how do you
UH
do
has like
that?
a lot of resources, so we actually were like renting out the popcorn machine and like the snow cone machine.
No way.
For the movie night, yeah, and chocolate.
Oh my gosh, inshallah. I'm really happy that Zootopia won.
I know. Actually, we watched it last night.
Yeah.
It's
so
amazing.
good.
After
My
I
favorite.
stopped watching because
I stopped watching too.
I love that movie.
It's my favorite movie.
You know, afterwards, my friend, she wrote a 2-page paper. Like just
I would too.
You
That's like a really
could.
great
Yeah.
movie on like
Could.
racism.
Yeah, right?
It was like while I was
everything.
watching it, I can't
Zavi
believe
was
this is
in
like
the
kids'
budget,
movie.
so-
Like, so good.
Yeah, you
There's
know
so many
what? I
lessons.
hope that little kids like picked up on
Mm-hmm.
it, you
They're
know?
really obvious, like the lessons and stuff. I thought.
I think that was the point. They were trying
Yeah.
to like, you know, because like usually kids movies are
Giving
like
everyone
so
credit.
like unrealistic. Like,
Like happy go lucky style.
yeah, like the world.
It's not even had a plot
And
twist.
also, no, and I feel like
Yeah.
kids always question stuff.
Yeah.
So they're always gonna have at least better questions about that movie,
Yeah, I agree.
rather than watching something else and be like, "Mommy, am I a princess?"
Yes.
I'm just gonna take a few pictures for MSA.
Yeah. By the way, I got this idea. I did a training for work, and they put these pipe cleaners in front of us. But it was a 2-day training, right?
Oh.
And so like they had like we each got like a stack of this big
Yeah.
pipe cleaners, and by the end of it, they had like a whole wall of fame
Put it on
for like
Instagram.
the different like
Put
pipe
it later.
cleaners. It was so funny. Like we had like people made like boats and
Yeah.
like I don't even remember all the great people made some
That's
like
the
crazy
YouTube
stuff.
say Snapchat.
I'm pretty sure.
Did you save that video
Has
of
something to do
Gavin yesterday?
Oh,
With our attention span.
Yeah.
So then, like, if we like put our attention to this and then go back, it'll be easier for us.
Should be in our memory.
Also, I think they were saying like it's something with tactile learners, like they need to be doing something with their hands.
Oh
while
yeah,
they're
if someone's
learning.
like moving,
Yeah.
fidgety, I guess.
So it like helps a lot.
Whenever you guys are ready.
This is when it gets intense. We're going into all the details.
I don't know. Well, actually, yeah, this workshop is like all the. Oh, you muted it?
Oh, for right now.
I'll tell you perfect.
Just until. Okay, good.
So this workshop, we're gonna go through.
I think the table is crooked.
It is crooked. I don't know why.
It is.
I mean, I know we were trying to fix it, but
They can't see you now though.
Engineer.
is that better?
Yeah.
Your
Well, they can
face
see
is
my
better.
shirt. I think that's more important. That's more important.
Are you gonna talk right there or back there?
Right here, so I can like change the sides.
Oh, okay. That's good. Okay, you
Just
just
so
need-
like because before it was just like the face.
Can
You're
they
gonna
see
get
from here
so-
too?
They should be able to see that.
Okay.
Okay, so this quick workshop is the nuts and bolts workshop. So we're gonna go through all things from finance to resources to just everything that you guys need to know about Charity Week. Why is this important? You know, our theme with space. If you go into space and you don't pack enough oxygen or water, you're gonna die. And we want to give you guys,
You don't want to.
we want to reach, trying to incorporate space thing. We want to give you guys everything you need to reach your destination. So we're gonna start off first with finance. Let me just, who did it for? Okay, so if you guys take a look at, I'll show them online. If you guys take a look at your tables, you'll find a finance cheat sheet. It's at the top. Yeah, so this is the finance cheat sheet. So these are all the donation pathways that you guys are gonna do to deposit money. So last year we never had we didn't have the SMS donations, and we had only the direct deposit. So for finance, these are the 4 donation pathways. So there's direct deposit, check, SMS donation, and online donation. The online donation page we'll be using is LaunchGood, inshallah. And the LaunchGood coaches, our coach, her name is Aisha. She's going to be in contact with your finance person from October 12th to 20th. And we set up your online pages for you, but you guys can add pictures or videos just to make it more attractive and appealing. And so she'll be in contact with you guys, inshallah. But it's really important we get this right. Why? Because there's both implications in this life, and there's also implications in the hereafter. So in this life, we don't want to do anything wrong, because at best, people are going to think you took the money for yourself. But at worst, people are going to think you gave it to the wrong organization, or you gave it to somebody, you gave it to a wrong group or whatever. And then at worst, in terms of the akhirah, this is amana, so this is money for orphans and needy children. So we have to get finance right. And this finance cheat sheet will be in the MSA Google Pack. So you'll have this sent to you guys. It's on the same drive. So just make sure your finance point of contact was Ahmed, right?
Yes.
Yeah, okay. So as long as he knows this, and you all know this as well, you guys can post this around your campus as well, because what's really great is the online donations, the SMS donation and online donation. So people passing by in the hallways, if they see this poster, they can just text to donate, and it'll go straight to the total. We're working with Islamic Relief on the SMS donations to go per institution. You know how it's like a competition to raise who raises the most money. So we're working on that, but for now, the text donation is going to go to the Charity Week total. Everything else, you'll have your own page. So you'll have your own donation page, the checks, all the lists are, all the instructions are here, so you guys will have this paper, inshallah. Next is publicity. Let's go. Okay. One second. Guys, I'm such a cave woman, I don't do technology. Here's the national poster. It's on the table as well, if you take a look, and that's the publicity poster as well. So this is a media cheat sheet, a publicity cheat sheet. So our hashtag this year is Charity Week, hashtag Charity Week 2016, as well as Going Further Together. There's also Snapchat, and Australia's Charity Week was actually this week. So check them out on Snapchat. And Austin's Charity Week is the only Charity Week in the USA that's not doing it on the 24th, so Austin is starting on the 10th. So if you guys have Snapchat, which I'm sure a lot of you probably do, check it out, and it's just Charity Week. And so this is just a publicity cheat sheet, which will be on the Google Drive as well, just to summarize anything that you need with hashtags and things like that. And why is publicity important? So you guys know how to tweet, you guys know how to Facebook, you guys know how to Snapchat, you guys know all this. But why is it important? It's because we are amplifying the voice of orphans and needy children. So publicity is like, this is the reason why we know about Charity Week, like, or else we wouldn't know about what happens worldwide. So publicity can be the difference between you having such an amazing event and inspiring so many people and letting people know about this and countering Islamophobia and just being such a good catalyst for all this good. Or it can be like no one knows about your event. So make sure, inshallah, like, especially for those tuning on online as well, to have somebody in charge to post and to encourage posting, tweeting, letting everyone know about what's going on in your institution. Next is, oh, this is the trailer. You guys saw the trailer yesterday, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I'll just play it again for those online as well.
We've only completed a beginning. We leave you much that is undone. There are great ideas undiscovered, breakthroughs available to those who can remove one of the truth's protective layers. There are places to go beyond belief. Those challenges are yours. In many fields, not the least of which is space, because there lies human destiny. Houston, we have a problem.
Every human being has a basic instinct to help each other out. This instinct is found in every culture, without exception.
Guys, it's so hard to talk after like a really amazing video. So
I watched this video like 15 times, I think.
I've done it before.
And can you believe the people who make this, like, no one is paid? Like, this is like...
Yeah, if you guys don't know, we are all volunteers. Everyone is a volunteer. So even the UK team, Australia team, everyone, all roles, national vice director, publicity head, finance head, media. Everyone is a complete volunteer. Something else that we're, in terms of publicity, is something called the telethon. So inshallah this year what will happen is it'll be a one-day event kind of thing, just for a couple of hours, where people call in online and just, you know, talk about Charity Week. So we use this to raise money for Charity Week as well as spread awareness. So, and it's really great for all of us to call in, and we'll let you guys know more details about what time it's taking place, inshallah. That will happen, inshallah, along with the International Bake Off. So do you guys know about this?
Yes.
So it's basically like whatever bake sale you guys are having, the only international aspect of it is that you're just going to take a pic, send it on email, and that's it, and post it. And all your pictures will be, you know, just pulled into an email, and you will have, we will judge on who has the best cake, and then you guys will go into like a bake off, I guess. And so this is our international poster for the bake off. It's just take a pic, send. It'll be, yeah, it'll be like the biggest bake off that's not like on TV. So inshallah, all you need to do is take a pic and send it. As a side note, we have there's these Wajid in the UK and everything about Charity Week. So sometimes people make fun of Charity Week with calling the C cake. It's like Cake Week, because everyone does, like, it started off with a bake sale, and everyone does cakes. So they know a lot about, you know, how to increase your cake stall profits and things like that. So we're just gonna go through 5 quick tips on how to increase your cake stall profits. By the way, guys, yeah, this is the note page. You can write on front or back. So first of all, so the first ever Charity Week in London, so what they did was they had one day for guys and one day for girls. They're like, okay, we're gonna bake one day, y'all are gonna bake one day, and we'll see how much money we raise. We'll still go to the same total. So the guys did the bake off, and they went to Wedgett's flat, and they baked all night. They made homemade stuff. They went to university next day looking all battered up, and they had barely any sleep. They were just baking all night. And what they did was, your regular bake stall. So they had the table, and they just sold cakes, and guess how much they made? 400 pounds, which is good. Alhamdulillah, that's great. Next day comes, and it's the girls' turn. And so the girls come with nothing. They don't come with anything. They don't bring a cake. They're just standing there, and the guys are getting furious at this point because they did so much work, and they're like, where are your cakes? And they're just like, don't worry, we got this, What happens? They have 10 pounds. They go buy a cake. They go buy a ready-made cake. They don't make it. They go buy a ready-made cake. They sell it. They slice it up with a profit. They make 20 pounds. They go back. They buy another cake. They buy 2 cakes. Then they come back with a profit, have 40 pounds. And then they just keep doing that. And how much did they raise? 4,000.
Oh.
They raised 4,000 pounds. They really proved them. So it's just these simple things about not being tied to your table, not overkilling yourself, really help with bake sales. So we're gonna go through 5 quick tips. Tip number 1, get mobile. So don't be tied to your cake stand, because if you have a cake stand and you're just kind of like dragging people to come by, if you have other volunteers, get like a tray and have them deliver. So one really neat thing was like, if you go to one of your professors or officers or whatever, you can knock on the door and just be like, would you want to buy a cake for all the other teachers or for your staff? And how could they say no? If you just show them the salt and you just knock door to door. And this way, you won't be tied to your stand, and you can have volunteers going and passing out in all your university, in all your institution, all these different types of cakes. Also, why is this really important? I didn't know this, but do you know how much it costs to rent a hot dog stall in New York? It costs over $500,000, which shows you how much money they make because they're so mobile. Because when you have a hot dog stall, you can go anywhere and sell. So this is a really great tip. Just get mobile with your bake sale. Second thing is ready-made versus homemade. So it's always great to have something homemade, for sure. Go with a homemade cake, that's cool. But don't do everything homemade like the guys did and just work yourself and just come burnt out and not have energy to do anything. Get some ready-made cakes, it's okay. Keep 1 or 2 homemade, that's up to you, but ready-made versus homemade is always easier for you guys as an institution as well. Number 3, tip 3, let me know if I'm going too fast. Tip 3 is give people variety. So you guys already know this, but like instead of just like chocolate or vanilla or cakes, you can do cupcakes, you can do pastries, teas, coffees. It doesn't have to be limited to just cakes. So tip 3 is variety. Tip number 4, presentation. We all want it to look good. Presentation is really important, and you guys know this. And you can go a step further and make the things you deliver them in really cute. So maybe you can have a cute box and have like a Charity Week sticker on it or something like that. Get creative with how it looks, because the chances if something looks good and something just looks like a bare muffin, people will pass by and they'll see that and they'll be like, oh, I want one, It'll attract attention. Tip 5, remind people what it's for. So we're gonna do a bake sale and we're gonna sell cakes, and this is really, bake sales are really common. So we don't wanna just go around and be like, here's the cake for $1 or whatever, come buy, take the money, move. We don't want that. We want to remind them what it's for. This is for orphans and needy children. We're here helping you guys out. We're not, we're Muslims and we care about making the world a better place and coming together. And this is for orphans and needy children. And tell them a few things about this. And if usually you don't have too much time to have a conversation with somebody passing by and buying a cake, but as long as you tell them like, your money is going to help orphans and needy children worldwide. Here's some projects. You have leaflets in the resource box that we gave you. There's 4 different project leaflets, and so when you have your when you have your stall, you can have some leaflets on the table. You can have the annual report on the table. You can have some posters on the table, so that when they come by, we don't want their money. We want them to know what we're doing this for. So this is very important. That's tip 5. So tip 1. Get mobile. Tip 2, ready-made versus homemade. Tip 3, give people variety. Tip 4, presentation is important. And tip 5, remind people what it's for.
And those are just.
And we give you guys, like, for each of our causes, like, that we're trying to help this year, we give you guys in your box, like, the leaflets to, like, educate people on, like, the issues, so you guys can use those for your cake sauce.
And next thing is resources. So you guys have this box right here. I feel so sorry for these ones. So in your boxes, you'll have all the resources you need. So you'll have t-shirts, you have posters, guideline poster, you have, so this is how your bucket looks, your buckets look and the bucket label are on them. You have them in the box with just the buckets and the bucket label separately, but I had an epiphany, I didn't even know this, but the bucket labels, because when we had it in Qatar, it was the first year we ever did Charity Week, and we had to cut the paper out and glue the paper from the back, and then I'm like, about to start gluing and cutting, and then Danielle goes like, it's a sticker. So all you guys have to do is peel the sticker, stick it on the bucket. You also have some goodies in there, but you guys will see that yourselves. So today, inshallah, you'll be going home with one of these boxes. And second, almost last thing, online resources. So you have the MSA pack. This is the Google Drive, and you have everything there. And everything that you need from finance, cheat sheets, media, cheat sheets. There's even a copy of the trailer over there. They're all in the MSA pack. So you don't feel the need to have to write these things down. They're all there, inshallah. And what's so amazing about this project is it just highlights unity to where you guys don't have to do anything. Like, you guys don't have to, not do anything, sorry. You don't have to worry about anything, you know. We have the posters and the design team and the trailer. I didn't lift a finger in this trailer. We didn't lift a finger in any of this. This is all global. And because we come together, we just cut down the work so much. It's just shared. So this trailer was made in the UK, boom, spread to the USA, Australia, Canada, Qatar, just like that. So this is, you guys don't have to worry about a thing. Everything is done for you. Resources, media, all these videos are up for you. And we'll give you the link to the, you guys have the link to the MSA pack? Okay. Last thing is a legal warning. So as Charity Week, it's a big campaign, global campaign, so we want to stay within the laws of the state or the country we live in. We do not want to go in grace. I'll tell you why. What happened once in the UK was, so you know how you guys have to bank y'all's money, right? So you bank either daily or every other day, up to you. It's preferable to bank the money daily, but sometimes that's not just as convenient. So what happened in the UK was one guy, he said he's going to bank the money in his bank account, and then he'll just transfer it over to the bank account that they were all raising for. He gets a knock on the door from the police, and they think he's a drug dealer because it was so much money. So we don't want to get close to that. We want to make sure that we don't get in any of the gray areas, because this is detrimental not only to you as a person, but to the project. Because if we get close to that, if we even step close in the gray area, Charity Week, maybe in Houston can stop, but it'll affect Charity Week all over. So we want to make sure that we stay as far from anything illegal as possible. For example, as well, if you're having the bucket, don't open the lid of the bucket in your institution. People can snap a picture and be like, oh, she's stealing the money. You know, so just be careful, take these extra precautions. And in the very end, who does this affect? This affects orphans and needy children. So we want to stay as far away from anything illegal as possible. As well as if you guys need speakers for any of your events, Islamic Relief has like a speakers, they like sift through the speakers and they make sure that there's nothing wrong with that speaker. He has a clean background and things like that. These things are very important. So if you guys have anything, any issues like that, go through us. Second thing I also wanted to mention about finance was, how is your institution with banking money? Do they allow you to take the money, or do they want it banked through the institution?
We have like our MSA account
Yeah, you have
with
our
the
own account.
school.
I mean, it's pretty flexible with what we can do with that.
Yeah, like we have full access to our bank account.
So the money can go straight to you?
Yeah.
Okay, good. So for all of those tuning in online, some institutions are a little more strict than that, so they require some forms like tax release forms or W-9 forms or things like that. so that the money goes to the institution first and then it gets transferred, which is totally fine. We have those forms for you. Just let us know if you need them. And that's the end of the second workshop. We'll be back soon. Inshallah.